Hello, folks, and welcome back to the Vertigo Tea Party and my informational series on DC Online. In this video, we're going to talk about the powers, the weapons, and character creation in general. The very first thing you need to talk about is PC versus PS3. It is not cross-platform, so if your friend plays on PS3, you are going to need to get the PS3 version, vice versa for PC, because if you play on PC and he is on PS3, you will not be on the same servers. Now, there's also PvE versus PvE. PvE is player versus environment. PvP is player versus player. Now, it doesn't really matter which one you choose. You can change the server that you're on in either the Hall of Doom or the Watchtower based on the faction you pick. But if you're new, in fact, if you're making a new character at all, I would choose PvE because you don't probably want people much higher than you beating up on you while you're trying to level. So we're going to pick PvE here. We're going to skip the intro movie. Go ahead. The intro movie is really nice, actually. It explains how you got to this part in the story. So first thing, you can pick male or female. This cannot be changed later on, so make sure you pick the correct sex. We'll go ahead and choose female just to show what that's like. And I'm not going to go into every single detail of character creation, just give you a general idea and talk about the powers. So we're just going to pick a body type. Now, if you're, let's say you're a big Batman fan and you want your costume to be like Batman, you can go into here and choose inspired by, and there's a list of various heroes and villains that you can choose to dress like. And even if you choose this, you can go in and change your customization. For brevity, we are actually going to, let's see, we'll pick Bane, because Bane looks great. Now, if you pick a template, it's going to fill everything out for you. Morality, whether you're villain or hero, it's going to pick your power set. So you probably don't want to do that. So once you've chosen your template, if you want to choose one, go back to select template and choose custom. Now, hero or villain. This matters twofold. One, again, if your friends are on the hero side and you roll villain, you will not be able to group with them. You'll not be able to get into a guild with them. So make sure if you're joining other people that you choose the hero or villain side based on what they have chosen. Secondly, the type of quests, or rather who gives you quests, is going to change based on if you're hero or villain. If you're hero, you're going to get quests from Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, etc. If you choose villain, you're going to get quests from the Joker, Lex Luthor, etc. So if you like the villains more, pick a villain. If you like the heroes more, pick villain. And we are going to go ahead and pick villain. And if you're worried, if you're new to this game and you're worried that, oh, if I pick villain, hero is going to be able to kill me on sight. As long as you pick the PvE server, you will be fine. Other enemies cannot attack you. So personality, this doesn't matter gameplay wise. This is completely cosmetic. This is just how you look. You can actually change this later on, but it costs station cash. And I go over, station cash in another video. But I go over station cash in another video. But in a nutshell, you buy station cash with real money, and then you can use that station cash in-game to buy various things. One of those being you can change the type of personality. All personality matters, again, is how you stand, and I think maybe some animations. But we'll go ahead and go to Primal. That looks pretty mean. Now, mentors. Mentors cannot be changed, period. So keep that in mind when you're picking a mentor. Both villains and heroes have 3 different mentors. Heroes can pick from Superman, Batman, or Wonder Woman. Villains can pick from the Joker, Lex Luthor, or Cersei. Now, your choice of mentor doesn't really matter a lot. The only difference is your mentor, whoever they are, will give you 3 quests. So if you choose the Joker, you'll get 3 unique quests from the Joker. If you choose Superman, you'll get 3 unique quests that you normally wouldn't get from Superman. It's not going to make a difference in the long run. You still do get quests from all the other villains or all the other heroes. You still go to Gotham and Superman City, Metropolis. Wow. You still go to Metropolis. Doesn't matter. So again, mentor choice, not a big deal. Just choose who you like. We'll actually choose Lex Luthor for her. Now, here are your powers. If you've played other MMOs, very, very roughly, the powers are sort of like your classes. They determine, obviously, the types of powers that you use and also the roles that you can play in a group. Now, this is how the powers work in DC Online. Every single power has 2 modes. You can switch modes at any time as long as you are not in combat. Every single power, which has 2 modes, one of those modes is always DPS. If you're new to MMOs, DPS stands for damage per second. All you need to know is that the damage mode or the DPS mode just means you blow things up. You shoot it with fire or ice. Your only purpose in life is to make things die and make them die quickly. So if you're new to MMOs or if you only care about DPS, just pick whatever you think looks cool and run with it. Now, again, every power has a secondary mode. That mode is either going to be tank, controller, or healer. Tank means that you want the enemies beating on you in a group. So if you're in a group with friends or some random people that you've grouped up with to do a quest, your job as a tank is to get all the enemies to beat on you because you have powers which make it easier for you to survive while the enemies beat on you and your friends in the group will kill all the enemies. Now, the healer does, as you would imagine, your healer heals other group members with their powers. Controllers have actually 2 main roles. One role is to control the enemies. So let's say you get mobbed by 5 enemies. Well, the controller can actually stun or block, basically lock down 2 of those enemies. That way your tank and your group in general is not taking as much damage. The other role they have is energy healing. And in a nutshell, how energy works is every single power you use takes energy. So let's say you have 100 energy, and let's say casting Firebolt costs 20 energy. Well, you can cast Firebolt 5 times. Now you're out of energy, and you have to wait for your energy to regenerate naturally. Controllers can actually give buffs to party members and directly heal their energy. This lets you use your powers more often, and this makes it easier for your group to DPS or tank or heal because they have more energy to use their powers. So controllers have 2 roles. So if any of those roles sound interesting, you will want to pay attention to what power sets or what modes have the role that you're interested in. Now we'll go over quickly over the various powers, and I'll tell you the roles they have. Now, again, every power can DPS, so I'm not going to mention the DPS role. I'll just remember the secondary role. So, fire is tank. Gadget secondary is control. Ice is defense. Mental secondary is control. Nature can heal. Sorcery can heal. Earth can tank, but you need to be a legendary member or have the Battle for Earth DLC. Electricity heals, electricity heals, but you need to either be a legendary member or have the Lightning Strikes DLC. And light, it's also called hard light, is secondary is control, and you will need the Fight for the Light DLC or be a legendary member. I've talked about the legendary membership and DLC and what that means in another video, but legendary means that you're paying the $15 a month to Sony to have a consistent subscription so you can make any of these characters. You can also buy individual DLC to get access to these powers, but I'll cover DLC in more detail in a different video. There's also going to be a new power set coming in May 2013 called Quantum that is going to be coming in the Origin Crisis DLC. So by the time you're watching this, it might already be out. But again, that quantum, and it will be able to DPS as all powers can do, as well as control. Since this is just an example character, we'll make nature. Now, also the powers, I think that you can change your power via station cache. So again, I believe if you want to change your power, you can do that with station cache, which again, basically translates to real money if you want to do that. Again, please correct me in the comments below if I'm incorrect about that. Now, everyone has a special movement type. It's either flight, acrobatics, or super speed. Flight doesn't really need any kind of description, I don't think. Acrobatics might sound bad at first glance. I don't know how you could sound bad at first glance, but at any rate, acrobatics can get around just as easily as flight and super speed, in my opinion. My main character is acrobatics. With acrobatics, you can quickly zip line up the side of buildings. You can run up the side of buildings. You can actually glide, and you have a very, very limited form of flight as well. So acrobatics, very good for moving around just like everything else. Super speed, again, not much description is needed here. You run fast. You can also run up the sides of building as well. So we'll actually pick super speed. Oh, and also for the travel methods, you can change your travel methods by using station cache in game. Now, your weapons. Your weapons don't make a huge difference. The reason being is that every weapon has a skill tree, which you can make that weapon better by adding skill points to that tree. There's lots of different ways to get skill points in the game. So it's not too difficult to multi-specialize. Maybe get maybe you want to be very good with the bow and brawling. Keep in mind you can't just swap back and forth like in the middle of battle. So if you want to use the bow for a while and then run in and brawl, actually you might be able to do that. I take that back. Sorry. But all you need to know is that you can pick here, and if you decide later that, oh, you know what, I picked the bow, but I really want dual pistol. I think that sounds cooler. You can either get more skill points and just put points into the dual pistol tree, or you can actually pay in-game cash, not station cash, but in-game cash that you get from defeating foes and doing quests to reset all of your skill points and then buy dual pistol instead of bow. So don't worry too much about this weapon selection. I'm going to go over these very quickly. There's bow, brawling, dual pistol, dual wield, hand blast, martial arts, one-handed, rifle, staff, two-handed, and shield. Now, shield, you have to have a specific DLC, and I honestly forgot which one it is. I apologize about that. Or if you're a legendary member, you can make a shield character. We will go ahead and just choose two-handed for now. And that is pretty much all she wrote. Keep in mind on the customization, your character won't necessarily look like this forever if you don't want them to. You can unlock additional styles by looting items. And I'll talk more about styles in another video. But in a nutshell, what you can do is, let's say you loot a breastplate that has a different style than this. Maybe it looks like a knight's armor or a demon's chest plate. You can actually use that skin on your chest so that it looks different no matter what gear you're wearing. So it's a really cool system. And again, I'll cover it in more detail. So even if you're not 100% happy with the way your character looks, or if you think you might get tired of this look over time, you can unlock different styles to have your character look different. There are also hairstylists in game. So if you're not crazy about this mohawk 30 levels down the road, then you can always change that. So that is the power sets and the weapons and character creation. As always, please let me know if I missed anything or if I made any errors in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.